Emily Bilton.
To be here. I just moved to Vancouver. Wow, hold your tepid applause. I moved here. First thing I did, I got a bicycle. Oh, wow, it was gorgeous. I was riding along. I could see the mountains on one side, the ocean on the other. Wow. And all of a sudden, I got doored. Do you guys know what that is? Yeah, when a car door opens and hits you. So this happens, I fly off my bike, I look up, this little old lady walks out of her car, comes up to me and is like, "Oh my God, sweetie, I'm so sorry. I didn't even see you coming." And I was like, "I hope not." Could you imagine? If she was like, "I fucking saw you!" Just waited for me all day, saw me coming, and was like, "That small boy needs to die." I love living in Vancouver, though, which is surprising to most. Like, the city is so beautiful, but since I've been here, whenever I say that I love Vancouver, people are like, "No! Why? The weather is terrible and everyone's awful, and it rains sometimes." Like, I lived in Montreal, and you know Montreal, right? People love Montreal. You cannot say a bad thing about Montreal to a Montrealer. Like, if you just state a fact, right? If you just state a fact, tell me if this is true. If you just state a fact, if you're just like, "Hey, you guys have no government." Yeah, it's right. They're like, but we have festivals. Like, there's a festival that happens in Montreal called Igloo Fest, which is an outdoor music festival in February. Have any of you experienced actual winter? No? All of my fingers are fake. And you go to Igloo Fest and just everyone's on MDMA, right? Everyone. And the cops walk up to you and they're like, "Hey, it's cool, we're literally the mafia." "Okay." "You want some more of that? We sold it to you." Ba, 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 ba. I nanny as my day job because I like to be bullied. I picked this 4-year-old up from school. She looks me up and down and she goes, "Emily, you look like my dad." And I was like, you know what? This is a learning opportunity. I get down to her level and I'm like, "Actually, sweetie, it's called a lesbian." She goes, "Emily, it's 2019. I know what a lesbian is. You look like a dad." And then she gets onto her razor scooter and rides off into the sunset. I'm like, well, if I look like your dad, I'm also gonna act like your dad. So I left her at school, blamed it on her mom, and went and did a bunch of cocaine. I actually just came out recently, which is surprising to most, because I've had this haircut for a while. It came out way before I did. So I was living in Montreal, and then I moved to Toronto to live with my boyfriend. Because I didn't have standards. You get it. Yeah, I nailed that, eh? And like everyone knew I was gay. Everyone. Like, I was doing the show in Montreal right before I left. I did my set. I came backstage, and guess who was there? Okay, I'll tell you. It was Caroline Ray. Oh. Do we know who that is here? Yeah. from Sabrina the Teenage Witch? Yeah, the one that you saw and you're like, black magic is fun. She was there and she goes, hey, you were the little lesbian that was just on stage. And I was like, actually, I have a boyfriend. And I'm moving in with him in 2 weeks. Anyways, we chat. She's super lovely. I leave the green room, and right when I leave, I hear her turn to my friend and go, that little lesbian's gonna break her boyfriend's heart. Fast forward to a few weeks later, I'm in my boyfriend's bed, and I'm deeply sexually unsatisfied. You get it? Who knew women could come? Not him. Oh boy. And I'm one day lying in bed, I'm asleep, and I have this dream that Caroline Rhea is singing opera. And I run through this auditorium, I jump into her arms, and I'm like, you're right, I'm so gay. Turns out, though, I'm a sleep talker. So I was yelling this out loud. And my boyfriend wakes me up, he's like, babe, what do you mean? You're so gay. And I'm like, oh my God. Caroline Rhea is a real witch. She did this to me, and I've never been happier. Thank you. Want to be my mom? Cool. I sometimes wish I maybe did something a little different with my life, like be a doctor, because I love those headlines where it's like, person almost died on subway, but they didn't, thanks to a trusty doctor sitting next to them. Like, that'll never happen with what I studied, because no one in the history of ever has been like, this person is dying, we need an opera singer. But like, what if they did, you know? What if this person is dying, I waltz onto the subway and I'm like, did someone say opera singer? And I rip off my coveralls, there's just like a beautiful ball gown underneath. And I'm like, okay, what are we looking at? All right, weak pulse, cold toes. I'm gonna need an EKG of French romantic. On our hands. Oh God, we're losing them. I'm gonna have to rip them open. Someone get my tuning forks. But Emily, that's a dull edge. Hey, don't question me. I didn't spend 6 years and $100,000 only to not use my degree as an opera singer. Cause that would be ridiculous. But I whip out my tuning forks, test each one. They're all exactly the same note, by the way. They're all A. But I grab my favorite one, rip him open, grab his heart. Do not come, my love, without asking my leave. Okay, so I feel like people don't really know what to do when I start singing opera. Is that what we're feeling? But neither do I. I am accidentally very good at this. And I always get the same thing. People are always like, your voice is so big, but you're so tiny. I'm like, yeah, but here's a fun fact. I breastfed till I was 5 years old. I am 80% milk fat. When I sing, it's just 2 ribeye steaks rubbing together. People also don't know what to do, and I tell them that I breastfed till I was 5 years old. And neither do I. But what's worse than the visceral memory of the shape and taste of my mother's teat is her explanation for it. Because she's like, well, Emily, you wanted it, so I gave it to you. I don't know if we have parents in the house tonight. Yeah, that's not how you parent. Kids want so many things. Like, I'd come home from kindergarten, throw off my backpack, I'd be like, play the Spice Girls and give me that titty. She's like, well, if you want it. She called me up recently and she's like, Emily, I have to ask you, did I make you gay? I'm like, Mom, that's ridiculous. Like, do you not know how this works? Of course you made me gay. You gave me the best thing in the world for 5 years. And I spent the next 20 just like a little titty coke addict, you know? It's like, where do I get some more? Every time I see a breasticated woman pass by, I'm just like, and now